Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this channel we're going to be talking about filmmaking stuff, whether that's lighting, cameras, lenses, and filmmaking related topics. This is not going to be a very technical channel, although I do like to get into some of those technical bits, but just on the surface. The things that are enough to know to get you to tell your story or to get you to actually put on screen what you feel emotionally. That's what I care about. I don't really care about the numbers, the technicalities, whether that's you're shooting on a full frame, you're shooting on an APS-C or a Micro Four Thirds. These things are important only to a certain extent. Because there comes a point you just want to feel something from that which you have seen and shot. And most of the time I feel that whenever you get too technical about achieving something, it just takes the soul out of it. So there's not much point, there's not much artistry going into it. Because I do think and feel that what we do it has to come from emotions. Yes, you do need the technical knowledge behind it, but at the end of the day, that's what storytelling is as well. We like stories, or we watch stories because we want to know how it feels, or we want to try and experience those things that we haven't experienced ourselves. And cinema is probably the most powerful of the mediums to do this, because it really can transform you as a human being, as you can travel and be the eye of the camera and the people and the characters and all that. But yeah, this goes way too deep into it. But yeah, I've studied filmmaking. I'm a filmmaker major, and after I had graduated, I actually just needed to find a way to make money, and I chose to be behind the camera. And being behind the camera, I just felt more connected to it. So yeah, here we go. So guys, if you're starting out, you might be thinking, well, you definitely need a camera in order to get a job and shoot and get paid. And then you need lenses, and then you need light, you need tripods and all kinds of different things. Do you really need a cage? Do you really need that monitor, or even that V-mount battery? And then the rods, the focus puller, all these different accessories, do you really need them? For most scenarios, you really don't. I mean, nowadays, you probably just need a good gimbal. Doesn't have to be the last one. Probably one that was released 2, 3, 4 years ago will be more than enough to get the work that you need. But yeah, of course, you're gonna feel like you want the best, you want the latest and all this stuff. But in the end, obviously, you're also gonna come in that journey to a point that you're just gonna want to have things that are actually usable when you're on set, when you're on a shoot. So anything other than that, you're gonna find to be useless. Probably gonna sit on the shelf for many years, and then the value is gonna drop. You're not gonna be able to sell it from the price you got it, and all this stuff that we all, I guess, go through. But anyhow, today's topic is the only lens you need if you're starting filmmaking. And I'm guessing if you are starting filmmaking, unless you found a secondhand cheap full frame camera, you're probably going to go the route of APS-C sensor. Going with the APS-C cameras is going to be most of the time cheaper. You're going to find a lot more lenses, third-party lenses, etc. So most of you will get a hands-on to that much quicker. I'm not going to get into the topic of shooting full frame and APS-C. It's something that is always actually a bit of something that I don't agree with. Like you can't shoot some certain things if you don't have a full frame camera kind of approach. Like, I just don't buy it. I don't understand this in the filmmaking industry. I mean, unless you're shooting a Hollywood film, let's say, and you really want the best of the best, and it goes through post-production of weeks and sometimes months, then yeah, maybe you just need that full frame and even more large formats and etc. But for the main work that we do, whether that's content creation for social media or just putting out some brand films, and in general, I mean, things that are more, local or accessible in terms of workflow, I think you don't need to think about this much. Like, you don't need to think about the full frame. Anyway, let's get on with that. I have already been into it too much, but here's the lens. This is it. Yes. Can you see that? It's the 17 to 40 Sigma. Guys, just look at this beauty. I mean, look, I just zoomed into 17 millimeter, now it's 40 millimeter, and it's internally zoomed. It's beautiful. This lens is an absolute beast. If you want to get into the technicals, yes, it's sharp, it's clean, it's got natural looking colors, it's got all that you would want, but it has more to it than just that. It's very flexible. It's very, very good all-rounder lens for anyone doing filmmaking, anyone who is in the business. It just gets the job done, and it gets it done well. So it's got a 1.8 aperture, which is pretty good for an APS-C camera, because you get that, you get good amount of light in. You get nice shallow depth of field. It's equivalent to 2.8 on a full frame, so you get pretty good shallow depth of field for those that are looking for that, let's say, cinematic look. Of course, it's not going to be as fast as primes, which would be like 1.4, 1.2. Those are going to get you like extreme bokeh on the background. With this lens, you're going to basically, you're going to be able to get through 90% of work that you need. That 10% that's left is probably going to be the ultra wide shots that you might need, or the telephoto that you need to zoom in on an event, or I don't know, if you do weddings or if you do something else that is more out of reach and you need that distance. That's everything after the 40 millimeter basically. Those, yes, you're going to definitely need a tele or an ultra wide lens. Like the one I'm talking to right now, it's on a Fujifilm and it's a 10 to 24 millimeter. I love this lens. I think it's one of the best Fujifilm lenses. I mean, I've had this before 2 years ago, and then I sold it, and then I couldn't get it back from the guy. And then I just moved on. I work with some other ultra wide lenses, and then I had to just get this one back because this one is amazing for any kind of interior or exterior, very extreme wide shots. And maybe even this right now that we're having a talk. So this is it, guys. This is it. 17 to 40. You get all the range. You get about 25 to 60 full frame equivalent range. And that's all you need to actually start doing your work, because it's going to teach you what you can get with a 17 millimeter angle. It's going to teach you what you can put in your, what kind of a framing you can get on a wide, not ultra wide, but wide 17 millimeter for those establishing shots and other wide shots. And then you're going to be going onto the 24 millimeter to get those talking heads, maybe waist up, medium shots. And then you have the 40 millimeter to work with if you want to get a bit more tighter, closer, maybe again a talking shot, or you just want to, highlight something, you want to get that detail. This could be when you're shooting an event, it could be of a product, a company logo, or any kind of those kind of things like details, maybe something on the table. And it's going to be helpful. The 40 is a beautiful focal length for me. I like what I see in the frame when I'm at 40. I like the 17. And then, of course, you have the 24, you can go to 27, and you can do anything in between. But I'm telling you, this lens is going to get 90% of the job done. And then you'll just add on to it another 2 lenses. You can add another zoom that is maybe a tele lens. And then you can add maybe an ultra wide lens. And then, obviously, this is not the end of the story. But once you kind of already... Once you get yourself out there and you start getting work, you start actually building your portfolio, then you can start aiming for more specific lenses. You can go for those fast primes and all that. But starting out, I'm telling you, save your money, don't waste it. If I were to advise myself 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I would definitely want to invest in something like this. I know that something like this did not exist back in that day, but yeah, if it did, which would mean if I was starting out now, I would definitely start off with this. And I wouldn't look back. This could take me, basically could have done everything that I've wanted to do. So this is an amazing lens to start with. So yeah, guys, I mean, in this video, I'm not going to be showing too many examples on this lens. I'm not going to be showing what the focal length, how it looks on camera and stuff. It was more of just a talk, you know, just between us, just having a conversation. I wanted to just share my opinions, maybe to fellow filmmakers or those starting out. And if you have any questions about the lens, drop down a comment. I'll try and reply as soon as possible. Yeah, and I hope this helps. And hopefully this time I'm gonna keep making YouTube videos. So we'll be talking about different things as well. Mostly, I could say that I do like talking about lenses. I enjoy that. And maybe if I'm not lazy, I'll put in some B-roll shots. I'll put in some shots of me while working and outside and everything, so you kind of get a better feel of how it translates to what's happening on the field. So thank you for watching this video and take care until next time.